If you're a homeowner in Wellington or the surrounding areas, then you're no stranger to the mass of snowbirds that flood into Wellington every winter to enjoy our amazing horse shows, our beaches, and the general village of Wellington vibe. And where do they all stay? We only have 3 hotels in the whole area. Well, that's why Wellington Rentals is such big business. And in actual fact, in the last year or so, so many homes have been snapped up by investors taking advantage of this profit. How do you get involved? Or maybe you've had a bad experience. Well, this video is for you. Here's my top 10 tips on successfully renting out your home. And at the end of this video, I'll be sharing how you can download a special guide to renting out your house that I made just for you. So keep watching. Pets, like Scrappy here. So if you've incorporated a pet into your lease agreement, and equestrians love their pets, then I hope also that you've requested a non-refundable pet fee. And what that will enable you to do is, after the end of the lease duration, you'll be able to get professional cleaners to come in and get rid of all that pet dander, and make sure you change the filters as well, because that's a real culprit for all this hair clogging up the air filters. Also, some little extra things that you can do, putting out dog bowls, maybe a couple of dog treats, maybe some separate dog towels, because obviously these lovely furry members of the family are going to come back from the barn. And, you know, the more you provide your guests a way to look after your home, then the better it'll be treated. Won't it, Scrappy? What do you think? Yeah? Is that a good take? Next tip, what I like to do just before the tenants move in is I take photos of absolutely everything, but you can do this too. Photos in drawers, of appliances, of furniture. You can also do a video as well. Just make sure that you do it in segments, otherwise the file will be too large. And then what I do when I've recorded all of this information is I put it down onto a zip file, and then you can give it to the landlord and the tenant, and then everybody has a same reference for what the condition of the property was when the tenant moved in. The next tip is really spritz up your place. Get it as super clean as you can. Think of 5-star hotels. For a start, no tenant wants to come in and the place is a bit grubby about the edges, but also psychologically, a tenant that comes into a pristine home is more likely to keep it like that. So if you don't enjoy doing this yourself, and who would, then remember you've got some revenue coming in. So hire yourself a pro team of cleaners and get your place looking spick and span. Oh, I just want a cup of tea. While I'm on cleaning, my next tip is, if you want your tenants to keep your house as beautifully clean as you left it, then make sure you have some cleaning materials very close at hand, easy to get, nicely presented, so it's easy for them to clean up after themselves. You're an eliminator. We don't need that, do we? The heart of every home is obviously the kitchen. So future landlords need to pay special attention to how they prep the kitchen for their clients. And that means clearing out all those nasty crumbs that get in the back of every drawer, clearing out those old expired cans, that 1960s can of Beanie Weenies that you were keeping for a special occasion. Now is the time to throw it out, or even eat it if you want. And maybe there's stuff that's not expired that you decide you don't really want. Just give it away to charity. There are some things that absolutely you need to leave, like you need a full set of plates, silverware, kitchen appliances, mugs, glasses. If you've got any special stuff like waterproof crystal or things that you really absolutely love, put them away, pack them away or take them with you. You don't want to leave out expensive things. Things happen, wear and tear happens. What can you leave also that's a special touch? Well, you can leave some basic seasoning items like salt and pepper. In this drawer here, obviously we have quite a lot, but that doesn't mean to say that you can't leave just the basic standards. What should you not leave? Well, I had one client who thought they were being super welcoming by leaving a whole hock of ham for her vegetarian guests. So that didn't go down so well. So in the fridge, obviously your tenants may have had a long journey to get to your home, so you can leave some refreshments for them, maybe even a bottle of wine. But if you're into things like I am, like growing your own broccoli sprouts, you don't want to leave that kind of stuff. You might even want to throw it away. Yes, you've guessed it. The next tip is to tidy up the outside of your house. The end of the summer is also the end of our tropical growing season. So now is a great time to trim back those clusia bushes and to mulch the flower beds, maybe put some seasonal color in and get that power washer out or hire a company to do it and tidy up the outside of your house. So while your tenants are enjoying the inside of it, you don't have to be worried about the outside. What a ride. It's hot out there and wet. Naturally, equestrians have to wear safety shoes around horses to protect their feet, but also around horses is vast amounts of manure, which gets on equestrians, your tenants' shoes, and then they could potentially traipse that into your house. So encourage this to not happen. I would suggest putting a little shoe taking off station by the general doorways that people come in. Maybe if you want to be a bit extra, with a boot tree so that it's easy for an equestrian to take off their boots. This way you keep the manure in the barn and not on your floors and, heavens above, your rugs and carpets. Next tip is there's going to be things that your guests are going to want to know about your house. If you don't want to be inundated with a million questions or a million questions from your agent asking you about your house, then make a manual. You can put any amount of detail in here. When the trash man comes, maybe you've got a pool man that comes, maybe you've got landscapers that come. And if you put it all in the manual, then it serves two purposes. Obviously, you get asked less questions, but also psychologically, I truly believe that the guest feels more looked after, more welcome. And that'll reflect, again, on how they treat your house. So what else can go in here? Well, do you have any hard to operate door handles? Just put a little mention of that in there. Do you have any super high-tech kitchen appliances? Like we've got a microwave that you almost need a PhD to operate. Put a couple of simple directions in here and, it'll just serve you well. Do you have any plants that need watering? If you're a plant lover like me, love me a good orchid, then maybe you'd like to leave a couple around. Of course, if you do that, there's no guaranteeing they'll water them. So take your precious babies with you. What else can you put in the manual? If you want to go that little bit extra for your client, maybe you want to entice them to book multiple seasons, then maybe you want to throw in some of your best restaurant tips, how to get to the horse show, your tips for the best beaches around here, anything that you can put in this magic manual that can help you, help them, will lead to a better relationship with your tenant. Tip number 2, get rid of that honeydew list that maybe you've been putting off for a while. Those annoying jobs, changing light bulbs and annoying filters that, for some reason are placed right in the middle of the ceiling. Get rid of them. And especially when it comes down to filters. You don't know how hot it's going to be, while your tenants are in situ and how high they're going to be running that AC. They may be bringing pets, which puts an awful lot of debris going through your filters. And if they're not changed, that puts a lot of strain on your AC, which could mean a big expensive bill. So get those honeydew chores done right now. The number one bugbear I hear from tenants when they move into their winter staycation home is clutter. No tenant wants to walk in and they've got no room for their stuff because your stuff's still here. So look at it this way: when prepping your home, use it as an opportunity to get rid of some of that stuff. I mean, I know it's hard, but if I said to you, I'm gonna pay you to clear out those drawers full of stuff that you don't need, would you do it? You would do it. You're kind of getting paid for this, right? Actually, Wellington Rentals is how I got started in real estate. I have my own Wellington horse farm, and I'd move my family, my kids, my dogs, my horses out every winter to take advantage of the lucrative rental market, and hence why my kids will never move again. You really should also know that there is a short-term Palm Beach tourist tax. So get advice on that before you rent out your property. And finally, I have made all of my tips available to you, plus some more details in this handy dandy guide that you can download by going to the link below. Enjoy.